Ready? 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 All right. Good afternoon and Chag Sameach. Happy Purim, everyone. I hope you are all dressed up in wherever you are in your homes and the places of residence, maybe in a vacation spot, maybe in your car driving, though you shouldn't look at your phone when you're driving. But I hope you are ready to begin this wonderful, most joyous holiday of the entire Jewish calendar. This is Purim. The great story of Queen Esther and Mordechai saved the Jewish people back in Persia. We can say that the story survived because the Megillat Esther survived, the book of Esther, which is found in our Jewish Bible in the 3rd section of the Tanakh on the writings, on the Ketubim. The story is marvelous. It's a little bit of a fantasy. It's fun. It has a deep meaning around the discrimination against the Jewish people and then the fight they had to go through to save themselves. Today also is a fast day, the fast day of Esther that concludes at the Megillah reading. And we're ready to begin. We have done 2 Megillot for you this evening. One beginning now, which is a family Megillah reading that is distributed among the congregants with their families. It's fun to be, and we would like to thank Eli Charitz and his family, Seth Stein and his family, Howard Goldberg and his family, Jordan Medved, who's here live, and his family, Kazan Levine and his family, Aris Pocconi and his family, Ella Manelis, who's here, and his family, Martin Pressberg and his family, Max Steiner and his mishpacha, Michal Raz and his mishpacha, her mishpacha, who are participating in the family Megillah reading that now begins. I hope you have your booklets with you. If not, you can see them on the internet and download it from our own website. And we begin with the famous 3 blessings. So we can read Megillat Esther. Chazan Levine.
I have that one.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu המקרא Megillah ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
ויהי בימה אחשוורוש הוא אחשוורוש המולכה מהודו ועד כוש 7 ועשרים ומאה מדינה בימים ההם כשבט המלך אחשוורוש על כיסא מלכותו אשר בשושן הבירה בשינה שלוש למלכו אשר עשה בשיתהם לכל שריו ועבדיו פרס ומדע הפרטמים ושרי המדינות לפניו.
This all happened in the days of King Ahasuerus of Persia. He had such a large kingdom and was so very rich that he gave a party for half the year for all the important people in Persia. And then he made a 7-day feast for the common people of his capital city, Shushan.
There were white and blue curtains tied by cords of linen and purple to silver rings and marble pillars.
And wine in golden cups, much wine, too much wine. On the 7th day of the feast, when the king was merry with wine, he told 7 servants to go and bring Queen Vashti to the men's feast to show her beauty to all the people.
For she was very beautiful.
But Queen Vashti would not come. The king was very angry. He turned to his 7 wise men and asked them, "What shall we do about Queen Vashti, who has not obeyed me?"
What shall we do about Queen Vashti?
ויאמר ממוכן לפני המלך והשרים, לא על המלך לבדו, אף ושתי המלכה, כי על כל השרים ועל כל העמים, אשר בכל מדינת המלך אחשורוש.
כי יצא דבר המלכה על כל הנשים, להגזות בעליהן ביניהם, באומרם, המלך אחשורוש אמר להביא את ושתי המלכה לפניו ולא בא.
Memucan was one of the 7 wise men. He said, Queen Vashti has done wrong not only to the king, but to all men of the kingdom. If she is not properly punished, then for now on no wife will ever listen to her husband. King, you must divorce Vashti and find yourself a better queen. So the king did just that. He sent word to all the men of Persia that every man must be ruler in his own house. But later, the king missed Vashti, so his servants suggested he gather beautiful girls from everywhere, and from among them pick a new queen.
So
the king began to search for a beautiful new queen.
איש יהודי היה בשושן הבירה, ושמו מרדכי בן יאיר בן שמי בן קיש איש ימיני, אשר הוגלה ירושלים עם הגלה אשר הוגלתה עם יחוניה מלך יהודה, אשר הגלה נבוכדנצר מלך בבל, ויהי אומן את ארצה היא אסתר בת דודי זי אין לה אב ואם, ונראה יפת תואר ושובעת מראה, ובמות אביה ואימה. לקחי מרדכי לא לבת.
all this time there lived in Shushan a Jew from Jerusalem who has been carried away from when Jerusalem was about to be destroyed.
And his name was
And
Mordecai.
his name was Mordecai. And his name was Mordecai, and his cousin's name was Hadassah in Hebrew, or Esther in Persian. She was beautiful, a beautiful girl that Mordecai was raising because her parents were dead. Esther was so beautiful, she was chosen to go before the king.
It's Max.
ויאהב המלך את אסתר מכל הנשים, ותישא חן וחסד לפניו מכל הבתולות. וישם כתר מלכות בראשה, וימליכיה תחת ושתי. ויעש המלך משתה גדול לכל שריו ועבדיו את משתה אסתר, והנחה למדינות עשה, וייתן מסעד כיד המלך. ובחבץ בתולות שנית, ומרדכי יושב בשער המלך. אין אסתר מכיר את מולדתה ואת עמה, כאשר ציווה עליה מרדכי, ואמר מרדכי אסתר עושה, כאשר הייתה באמנה איתו.
The king so loved Esther that he made her his queen, and he held a great feast in her honor. All the while Esther told no one she was Jewish. Mordecai told her not to tell, and Mordecai would always sit at the gate of the palace to hear the news.
She incredibly heard some news.
Mordecai happened to hear of a plot to kill the king. He told Esther. Esther told the king. The men who wanted to kill Ahasuerus were hung.
אחר הדברים האלה גידל המלך אחשוורוש את המן.
All you Titans after this. 585-414.
האלגי וינשאהו ויעשה את כיסום מעל כל השרים אשר איתו וכל עבדי המלך אשר בשער המלך קוראים משתחווים להמן. כי כן ציווה לו המלך, ומרדכי לא יקרא ולא ישתחווה.
After all this, the king picked a new prime minister by the name of Haman, a descendant of Agag, Israel's greatest enemy. All the king's servants bowed before the great man, all except Mordecai. Mordecai would not bow and would not bend. Haman saw it and was very angry. For revenge, he decided to kill not just Mordecai, but all the Jews. He wanted the very best day for murdering the Jews, so he had a lottery, which in Persian are called Purim, and came up with the date of the 13th of Adar. He nearly had a year to prepare for this horrible revenge.
למלך אחשוורוש ישנו עם אחד, זר ומפורד בין העמים, בכל מדינות מלכותיך, עדותיהם שונות מכולם, ועדתי המלך אינם עושים, ולמלך אין שווה להניחם. אם על המלך טוב ייכתב לעבדיו, ו10,000 כיכר כסף אשכול על ידי עושי המלאכה. להביא אל גנזי המלך ויסר המלך את טבעתו מעל ידו ויתנה להמן בין המידת האגגי סורר היהודים. Now Haman went to the king and said, there is a certain people scattered all over your kingdom. They have different laws from everyone else. They don't keep the king's laws. You should not let them live. I will pay the expenses for getting rid of them. The king Henry, I want to say the king took off his ring. The king took off his ring and said, and gave it to Haman. The enemy of the Jews. Use the ring to sign any law. Do as you wish. Then, since the law it's hard to keep up with things of the kingdom, that on the 13th of Adar, every Jew everywhere shall be killed. Man, women, and children. All to be killed, all to be destroyed.
Okay.
ומרדכי ידע את כל אשר נעשה, ויקרא מרדכי את בגדיו, וילבש שק ואפר, ויצא בתוך העיר, ויזעק זעקה גדולה ומרה, ויבוא עד לפני שער המלך, כי אין לבוא אל שער המלך בלבוש שק. ובכל מדינה ומדינה, מקום אשר דבר המלכותו מגיע, אבל גדול ליהודים, בצום ובכי ומספד, שק ואפר יוצא לרבים.
When Mordecai heard the news, he tore his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes. Mordecai cried out bitterly. He sent word to Esther asking her to go to the king and beg for the life of her people. But Esther was afraid, because she had not seen the king for a month, and everyone knew that a person who went to see the king without being called would be killed, unless the king was in a very good mood and held out his golden scepter. Mordecai was angry with Esther. Do you think we shall all die, but you will live? If you will not help us, help will still come, but your name will die.
ותאמר אסתר להשיב אל מרדכי, לך כנוס כל היהודים הנמצאים בשושן, וצומו עלי, ואל תאכלו ואל תשתו 3 ימים לילה ויום, גם אני ונערותי עצום כן, ובכן אבוא אל המלך אשר לא חדלת, וכאשר עבדתי, ויעבור מרדכי Vayas kecho asher tzivta alav Esther.
So Esther answered, "Go tell all the Jews in Shushan to fast for me, and I will fast 3 days and 3 nights. Then I will go to the king, and if I die, I die."
And if I will
go, and if I die, I die. On the third day, Esther went to the king. When he saw her, he so loved her that he put out his golden scepter, and Esther, bowing low, touched it with her head. The king asked, "What is your request?"
Anything you wish, I will do for you. Ask for half my kingdom, and I'll give it to you.
Again, Esther asked only that the king come to another feast the next day with Haman.
Left the palace in a very good mood, but when he saw Mordecai, he was filled with rage.
Mordecai would not bow and would not bend.
בלילה ההוא נדדה שנת המלך ויאמר להביא את ספר הזיכרונות דברי הימים ויהיו נקראים לפני המלך וימצא כתוב אשר הגיד מרדכי על בקתנה ותרש שני סריסי המלך ושומרי הסף אשר ביקשו לשלוח יד במלך אחשוורוש ויאמר המלך מה נעשה יקרא גדולה למרדכי על זה ויאמרו נערי המלך משרתיו לא נעשה עמו דבר.
That night, Haman. Wife Zeresh told him, "Look, if this Mordecai, whoever he is, bothers you so much, put up a tall gallows, ask the king for permission, and hang him right away."
That night, the king was having trouble sleeping, so he began to look at some old records. In them, he read how Mordecai had saved his life by telling the plot to kill the king.
The king turned to his servants. "What do we ever do to reward this Mordecai?" "Nothing," said the servants. Just then, in the early morning, Haman came knocking at the door, eager to ask permission to hang Mordecai.
"Just the man I want to see," said the king. "What should be done for someone the king wants very much to honor?" Now Haman was thinking, who would the king want to honor if not me? So he said, "This should be done for such a man."
Let the king's throne, let him wear the king's crown, let him ride the king's horse all over town. A prince should be leading, shouting as loud as he can. The king wants to honor this wonderful man. The king said to Haman, "You be the prince, take the robe, take the crown, take the horse, and do all that you said for Mordecai. Do it today." Haman did it, and when he came home in the darkest moods, his wife said, "If this Mordecai is a Jew, you are lost, you will found." At the very moment the king's men came to take Haman to the second feast with Queen Esther. And at that feast, the king asked her, "What is your request?" "Anything you wish for, I'll do for you. Ask for half my kingdom, and I'll give it to you." Now Esther spoke up. "My wish is for my life, and my request is for the life of my people, for we have been sold and my people to be murdered and destroyed. Who? Asked the king. Is doing this to you? Esther answered. Vicious enemy, this wicked Haman.
ויאמר המלך אחשוורוש, ויאמר לאסתר המלכה, מי הוא זה ואיזה הוא, אשר מלאו ליבו לעשות כן. ותאמר אסתר איש צר ואויב, המן הרע הזה, והמן לבד ולפני המלך והמלכה, והמלך כמה טוב במשתה היין אל גינת הביתן, והמן עמד לבקש את נפשו מאסתר המלכה, כי ראה כי חלתה אליו הרעה מאת המלך.
The king was furious. Just then, a slave said, "Do you know that Haman has built a huge gallows to hang Mordecai?" And the king answered, "Hang Haman on it." Then the king took the ring he had once given Haman and gave it instead to Mordecai. Even with the ring to sign the laws, Mordecai could not change what had been done, because the king of Persia could never admit he had made a mistake. No law of his could ever be changed. Mordecai could not command that the Jews not be killed on the 13th of Adar, but he could make a law that the Jews be given weapons and defend themselves. So when the day came, the Jews fought a great battle and won. In most of the kingdom it lasted 1 day, but in Shushan it took 2. That is why most Jews observe Purim on the 14th day of Adar, but the Jews of Shushan have Purim on the 15th. Esther ordered that these days of Purim should be a holiday. And Mordecai the Jew was second only to the king, a great man among his people, working for their peace.
So when the day came, the Jews fought a great battle and won. In most of the kingdom it lasted 1 day, but in Shushan it took 2. That is why most Jews observe Purim on the 14th day of Adar, but the Jews of Shushan have Purim on the 15th. Esther ordered that these days of Purim should be a holiday. Every year, feasting and joy, the exchanging of gifts and charity to the poor. כי מרדכי היהודי משנה למלך אחשוורוש וגדול ליהודים ורצוי לרוב אחיו, דורש טוב לעמו ודובר שלום לכל זרעו. And Mordecai the Jew was second only to the king, a great man among his people, working for their peace.
Hey, my lesson. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, aravta et rivenu v'adan et dinenu, v'hanokem et nikmatenu, v'hamishalem gemul lechoi oivei nafshenu, v'hanifra lanu mitzarenu. Baruch ata Adonai הנפרע לעמו ישראל מכל יצריהם האל המשיח.
Please join us. Enjoy your Purim. Join us at 6 p.m. for our Mincha Ma'ariv service, and at 6:30 for a full reading of the whole Megillah. We have it right here
And we have engaged a group of readers for this.
That's beautiful
Megillah.
reading.
So we'll wait for you at 6 p.m. for Mincha and then 6:30 for Megillah reading. Happy Purim, everyone! Happy Purim!
Thank you. Oh, it's beautiful, everyone. Thank you. Sameach.